4, 3.
I'm Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter. Thank you for joining me this evening for a community update regarding the coronavirus pandemic in Putnam County. I am pleased to have with me tonight Cookeville Regional Medical Center CEO Paul Korth and Putnam County Schools Director Corby King, who you will hear from shortly. I come before you tonight to emphasize the seriousness of our current situation. The coronavirus is still here in our county, and unfortunately it's here to stay for a while. If you're like me, you're ready for it to be gone and to get back to living a normal life. But we just can't safely do that at this time. We can't let our guard down. We can't ignore it, and we can't put the safety of ourselves or our fellow citizens at risk. We must take every precaution we can to stay safe and healthy. As of today at 2 p.m., our total number of active cases in Putnam County is 456. That brings our total number of positive cases since March to 4,257, but with 88% of those people already recovered. Our hearts go out to the loved ones of the 54 citizens we've lost to COVID since March. But thankfully, we continue to see very high recovery rates and very low loss of life rates overall. One of the more concerning issues we're watching right now is the recent rise in COVID-related patients at our local hospital, Cookeville Regional Medical Center, and across the state. Cookeville Regional not only covers Putnam County, but several other counties in our region that do not have a hospital. While our hospital is doing a great job handling the extra load, we're very concerned about the dangerous combination of COVID and flu season and what the future impact on our hospital might be. Now, more than ever, I encourage everyone to get a flu shot to help protect your health. Paul Korth will have more information on the current status of the hospital shortly. This brings us to the heart of my message tonight. How do we best control the spread of COVID in our community? Some have called for a mask mandate, others say herd immunity, others believe social distancing or other CDC guidelines. Trust me when I tell you that I have lost countless hours of sleep debating the options in my head. I prayed over what's best for our community. I truly want everyone to be healthy and safe while maintaining as much quality of life and economic vitality as possible during these trying times. A high percentage of our recent COVID cases trace back to private family-type social gatherings and church functions. Gatherings like baby showers, weddings, parties, large family gatherings, and class reunions. Most of these events are being held inside where people are not taking any precautions. It only takes one infected person to turn an otherwise innocent event into a super spreader. Right now, these private social gatherings are our #1 obstacle in the fight against COVID-19. So for the next few weeks at least, I'm asking you to please limit these type gatherings and getting together in large groups. If everyone would do this, I think we would see our numbers drop dramatically over the next few weeks. I've studied what others have done around the state and country. Similar counties to ours have mask mandates enacted currently on their citizens. However, they are seeing active case numbers and testing positivity ratios increase like a lot of other counties are across the state. We continue to see the metro areas across Tennessee fight numbers despite mask mandates, closures, curfews, and other measures. I've also seen the challenges these counties have had in enforcing mask mandates. Not only are these mandates extremely difficult to enforce by law, but they also tend to bring on aggressive behavior among fellow citizens who decide to take enforcement into their own hands. There's also a tendency for people who are currently wearing a mask voluntarily to stop if enforcement is attempted. Mandates tend to create an unhealthy division in a community. I, for one, don't want to issue a mandate unless I absolutely have to, but please know I will if it comes to that point. The only thing short of an effective vaccine that is going to change our situation for the better is a change in the behavior of our citizens. I strongly urge all of us to take a look at our own behavior and practices and ask yourself if you're doing everything you can to slow the spread of COVID. Are you wearing a mask when in public and not able to social distance? Are you washing your hands and keeping your hands away from your face? Are you social distancing as much as possible? Are you self-quarantining when you don't feel well? Are you putting yourself and others at risk with unnecessary travel or social gatherings? We have to take personal responsibility and do whatever we can to protect yourself and the other people around you. It all comes down to caring about your neighbor and wanting the best for them as you do yourself. I strongly believe masks help, so I encourage you to wear one. I try to set an example by wearing mine as my entire family does. Also, we must buckle down and change our behavior for a little while longer to ensure the health of our great community and of our hospital. We can avoid a mask mandate, curfews, and other unwanted measures by taking control of our own situation. But if we don't, I promise you things will get worse before they get better. I now want to bring in one of our guests. First, Mr. Paul Korth. He is the CEO of Cookeville Regional Medical Center.
Thank you, Mayor Porter, for allowing me to be here tonight. I want to give a quick update on the medical center and what we're doing. Currently today, we've had 59 positive COVID-19 patients in the medical center. It is down some from earlier this week, so that's a positive trend. We hope this positive trend continues, even though it's only down a few patients. Earlier in the week, we were up to 64 patients. We're doing many things at the medical center to try to continue to make sure we have capacity, to make sure that we are taking care of the needs of the community. We've met frequently this week to make sure that if we need to, there's other plans that we can do and implement to make sure that we have the adequate capacity to take care of these patients. Earlier this week, we had to suspend our elective cases from both surgical and any other type cases that require an overnight stay. That's been successful so far. We've been able to free up beds, and early this afternoon, we've probably been in the best shape with open beds than we've been all week. But there's a couple messages that I'd like to leave with everybody tonight. I echo what Mayor Porter says. I think it's very important that we do the right thing over the next several weeks and months as we continue to fight this virus. You can look and ask yourself, what can you do to help the medical center? One of the main things that you can do is wear a mask. Social distance when you're in those environments where there's large gatherings. Wear a mask. And also wash your hands frequently. There's no substitute for killing this virus than washing your hands. The more you do it, the better off you'll be. I feel like that I probably wash my hands 50 times a day, and been very successful at the medical center in being able to make sure that the spread of this virus has not been spread throughout our facility. It's very important, again, to wear your mask when you're out in public. It's very important to continue to, if you are in these social gatherings, to wear a mask. I can't overemphasize enough how important it is for all of us to step up and do the things that we need to do and do the right thing for our community so it will help everybody. So we are getting ready to do a lot of mass publications at the medical center about this, and one of our new slogans is wear a mask, be kind, protect each other, and stop the spread of this coronavirus. This is the way we can do it. This is the way our community can step up. This is the way our community can help our local hospital. It's the way our community can help everybody in the community. Because the last thing that we want to do is to have to tell some loved one's family member that their mother, their grandmother, their father died. We are having deaths. We had 2 deaths just last night, both of which were caused by this coronavirus. So it's very important to take a step now and do the right things, and I encourage you more than ever to wear a mask while you're in public. Mayor Porter, thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. We are, as always, here to help and serve the community. The medical center is in great shape to be able to continue to fight this virus, but we need everyone's help, and we need everyone's help now more than ever as we continue to see a large number of cases over the past 30 days that weren't here 2 months ago, 3 months ago when this coronavirus was first starting. We had very few patients in the medical center. We are now starting to see this spread become worse. So it's very important that we do that. Be glad to help out any way we can, Mayor Porter, but we really appreciate everything you, Mayor Shelton's doing for the city. I know you guys have stayed in constant communication with us at the hospital, and you are willing and ready to do the things that are necessary if we need to do it. But I like you, think that mandates are not very productive. These mandates will not go over well in the community. So what I ask everybody to do is just do the right thing before we have to step up and do something more drastic than what we're doing. So thank you again, and I'll turn it back over to you, and we can carry on. Thank you all.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate your leadership and the information you've shared tonight. You and your staff have done a wonderful job, and they're all to be commended. Now we have Mr. Corby King, Director of Putnam County Schools. Corby.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Mayor Porter, for the opportunity to join you this evening. As of the end of the school day today, we have 36 active cases reported on the school dashboard. The active cases on our dashboard are a reflection of the spread of the virus in our community. As long as the virus remains in the community, we will continue to have students, faculty, and staff members that have positive cases. The number of positive cases identified on our dashboard will rise and fall with the spread of the virus within the community. To limit the spread of the virus, we need help from students and families. If you are sick or if you have any symptoms that could be related to COVID, please stay home until you are symptom-free or until you are cleared to return to school by a medical provider. If you have tested positive for COVID-19 or if someone in your household has tested positive for COVID, please stay home and participate in remote learning until the end of your isolation period. Please do not attend any extracurricular activities, including athletic events, if you or anyone in your household is experiencing symptoms that could be related to COVID-19. We are continuing to closely monitor the active COVID cases in the school system for both students and for staff members. We are communicating with families and the Department of Health to monitor possible school transmissions or cluster outbreaks related to schools being open. To date, we have not identified a cluster outbreak or linked the spread of the virus to schools being open. The students, faculty, and staff members are doing a great job while at school wearing masks and social distancing whenever possible. We believe that these measures have been effective in helping contain the spread of the virus within the schools. I also believe that the diligence of our teachers and administrators have helped contribute to the success of remaining open throughout the first 9 weeks of school. There have been a multitude of tasks added to their plates in monitoring students, cleaning and disinfecting classrooms, devices, and supplies, and working in both in-person and remote environments, and they have been instrumental in keeping our schools open. More than ever, I believe families realize the value of our teachers, administrators, and schools for the health and well-being of our community. It is vitally important that we keep our teachers and our staff members and our students safe for the health and well-being in our community. In order for us to remain open, we must continue to follow the protocols that were established during the first 9 weeks of school that allow us to keep transmissions low. We must work together with the community to reduce the spread of the virus. We believe that there are important steps that students and families can take to help contain the spread of the virus within our community and within our schools. To the extent possible, please limit your social circle outside of school. We realize the importance of social activities for our students and families. We're asking that everyone remain vigilant in limiting the potential exposure to students and families outside of the school environment. When possible, just know where you're going, who you're around, and what the circumstances might be. There have been COVID outbreaks identified in our community relating to sleepovers, travel athletics, youth group events, and large gatherings. For students attending or hosting sleepovers, it is important to be sure that no one is experiencing COVID symptoms or that no one in the home is experiencing COVID symptoms. If you are hosting the event and you meet one of those criteria, please postpone the event. If you are planning to attend a sleepover but meet one of those criteria, please refrain from attending until you are symptom-free or until you are cleared by your medical provider. If you are participating in travel athletics, please follow the same protocols that you would as if you were participating on the school team. Know your teammates. If you or a teammate is experiencing symptoms or has a known positive case, please refrain from attending the event. If you're a parent with a positive case or someone in the home, please refrain from attending the event. In the stands, please distance from those not in your household. Riding in cars for an extended amount of time or staying in hotel rooms with non-household family members increases the potential for spread. Be vigilant in knowing those with whom you travel. For large gatherings, it is still best to avoid those whenever possible, as the transmission within our community remains high. If you choose to attend a gathering, distance when possible, and please wear a mask to reduce the possibility of transmission. Following these guidelines will help reduce the spread of the virus among our students and families and will help protect the health of our students and their families. Keeping our schools open and available to students, faculty, staff members, and families remains an important goal for our community. In order to maintain this goal, we must all work together to reduce and control the spread of the COVID virus. Mayor Porter, thank you, and we continue the partnership with the community to do our part in the school system. So,
Thank you, Corby, for all you do to keep our children safe in these trying times. I commend your staff also for the great job that they're doing educating our children during this difficult time. I also want to commend all the people serving on the front lines over the past few months. So many of you have put your own health on the line as you serve your fellow Putnam Countyans. We can't thank you enough. I want to especially give thanks to those who are doing the COVID testing in our county. We are among the top 20 populated counties. We are now number 2 in the state for testing based on population among those counties. Our counties performed 40,783 tests as of yesterday, which is about 51% of our estimated population in Putnam County. As I said, out of the top 20 populated counties, that puts us number 2, only Davidson County is above us. This is so important because the more people we test, the more we can get quarantined and keep them from spreading the virus. Thanks to Lisa Bumbelow and our Putnam County Health Department for the great job that they have done. Please remember, drive-through testing is still available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 noon, and is free to anyone. On a city and county level, our elected officials, department heads, and employees are doing everything they can to protect you. We've installed privacy glass in most of the county offices for your protection. Masks are available for you, and we ask that you wear one when entering any of the county buildings. In talking with Sheriff Ferris today, he's instructed all his deputies and employees to wear masks and eye protection. This goes along with what all our first responders are already doing to protect you and them. You know, back in March, our year took a terrible turn. First, the tornado that ripped through our community and took 19 lives. Soon after, we began to realize the severe impact of coronavirus, not only to our health, but on our businesses and economy as a whole. The one positive that has come from 2020, though, is the compassion and unity our community showed when our fellow citizens were in need. Tonight, I'm asking you to show that same compassion once again. Please exercise personal responsibility and do everything you can to help slow the spread of COVID. Even if you are not afraid of the virus, it doesn't mean the person next to you won't die from it. Even if you feel wearing a mask is ridiculous or a violation of your liberties, it doesn't mean that a mask won't save a loved one from getting seriously ill. Most importantly, I plead to everyone to limit your social gatherings over the next few weeks as we work to decrease our case levels and the load on our hospital. If we all pull together and do our part like we did back in March when the tornado came, we can and will slow the spread of this crazy virus. May God bless each of you, and I ask that you keep our county, state, and country in your prayers. Good night.
I'll do it. Appreciate it. Thanks for whatever you